Hey Tubers, this is Dominique from DLM Journey, and I am doing a video on an updated version of my Midori Traveler's Notebook. It's been a really long time since I've done a review and what is in my notebook, but I completely assure you that it's completely different from a few years ago, and now I'm in a different phase. And I'm already done with my nursing school, and now I'm working. And I was very fortunate to have traveled with my parents to Europe last year, and so I do want to give some insight on what I have in this notebook. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get started. So as you guys may have remembered, when I first got my Midori Traveler's Notebook, it was really nice and clean, but now it's survived for all these years, and it's a little bit scratched up, and it has this rustic feel to it. But this I got from Amazon, and it came in a package, so I'll link all of the products that I use down below so that you guys can purchase them as well. All right, so when you first open it up, as you can see, again, different from what I used to do. I used to decorate the pages all along the lines, and I'm not into the decorating part in my Midori Travelers. I just want it to be very functional, and I want the content inside the booklets to be not just useful for me, but useful for other people if they were to go through my books, and at the same time still serves as a way that, you know, memories are noted, and that, you know, pretty much the day is captured as you go through. So I'm very simplistic now when it comes to the covers and the first pages, so that it's not too overwhelming, and then you'll see as I go through. So what contains in this is I have two booklets, and then I have a craft folder to hold everything in, and then I have a last booklet for everything else. So this first booklet, it's really a travel notes page where I have fun facts about the country that I'm visiting. So here is really the itinerary when we went to Europe. I wanted to get a concept of what the country looks like, so tried to do my best to draw Italy and try to, you know, figure out where all the major cities are. So then again, it went to the fun facts. And so our first stop was in Paris. So as we were waiting for the plane, I definitely just wanted to capture some of the fun facts or quick facts about Paris and some things that kind of resonated with me. I also decided to draw the Eiffel Tower, of course, and draw the map of the Arc. And then we went to Venice. So again, this picture I really got from, what is this? From Pinterest. And I just, you know, this is not from one of my images at all by any means, but this is actually from Pinterest, and I just decided to kind of sketch it out. And then as you can see, I kind of gave up on the fun facts with Florence and Rome, and the reasoning behind that is because I was really starting to get sick, and unfortunately once we got to Rome, I couldn't even go to Naples, and it was very sad for me. But I at least I got to see the Colosseum for sure, but I definitely took some time off from my journal to just really relax. So this craft folder, I just have a couple of things to keep certain memories, my plane ticket, and this is just like, I think, random notes or something. I like to get postcards when I'm in museums. So when we went to the Louvre in Paris, I decided to purchase Mona Lisa and a good picture of the Louvre. And then I also have copies of the map of Paris, wraps of paper. I don't like to throw certain things unless they don't serve a purpose. But so now moving on to the last notebook. This is pretty much my daily notes, meaning like my itinerary for as the day goes. I literally would grab magazines from different stores, especially if they were free. I would grab them and I would just post them on here to capture that, because we did end up going to Sacre-Cœur at the peak of Paris where we were able to see a view. So I definitely wanted to include this, and these were the shops surrounding Sacre-Cœur. Which we really didn't go shopping there. We mostly went shopping at Champs-Élysées. But we did end up eating somewhere really nice down here. And then I bought at the airport to go to Venice. I bought a Ladurée keychain of a macaroon. So I made this little thing with with tape that I got from like next door from like a convenience store, and I held certain tickets. This is what the metro ticket looked like. And then this is when our planning really started. My father had a lot of notes in his own journal, so I'll probably do a separate video for that, because his journal is pretty nice too, but it's the tinier version of the Midori Traveler's Notebook. But so for day one Paris, we wanted to create a very, very rough timeline of what we were going to do. We definitely knew that we had to check into our hotel, and discover the metro, Sacre-Cœur. We wanted to go there. We had to see the Arc, we had to see the Eiffel Tower, and then go back home. So day one really went in this order, and then we had to get some rest. I kept a lot of our metro tickets just for memory keeping, and then these were the foods that we had to try out. Not that we tried every single one, but there were just ideas of something when it was time to order food. We did visit Ladurée, but it was it's really too expensive, and I don't think it was worth the price, but kept their phone number there. And then we also looked into Bistro Victoires, which is it's a restaurant near the Louvre, I think. I'm not sure. Please don't quote me on that. But we actually didn't end up eating in any of these places, but that's okay. Again, Ladurée was too expensive. So my favorite part was day two. And so again, I wanted to capture the day. And this is the day where we went to the Louvre. We wanted to go to Sacre-Cœur, and all that good stuff. So pretty much the Louvre took up a lot of hours, and we ended up going to different places after. So I do also have like a fold out of the map, which again was very, we used it everywhere to make sure that we knew what stops that we were going to go to get to a certain spot. The metro is not any different from here, so the map was very useful. And this I got from the Louvre as well, where I got the postcards, and it's a little pop-up as well. And then this was just from a magazine, Paris magazine. And then I tried to keep my receipts, but I lost some, but I did end up keeping my receipt from the Louvre. And then it was off to Venice. I tried to do the same concept where, so day one in Venice, I had a plan to go to Burano, which took a boat trip, and a pretty long one too. The landmarks that we ended up going to was the Rialto Bridge, St. Mark's Square, St. Mark's Basilica, and Basilica di Frari, which is the churches there, and the Grand Canal. We ended up staying at Hotel Ca del Campo, which had, again, free breakfast, and some restaurants that I saw around there. Again, these are just a list, but not necessarily where we ate at. There was just so many to choose from, and literally I don't recall having a bad experience at any restaurant when I was there. So I did post this because my father bought me a Louis Vuitton in Venice, so I kept the sticker there. That's the type of Louis Vuitton. And then this one is I bought this specifically at a Venice, Italy store where they had a bunch of stationaries, some wax seal stamps, and so that's just for decoration. This was the card that we used to go in and out of the boat rides, and this is what we used to actually get to Venice. So I definitely wanted to capture the cards. And I did another pop-up from a free magazine of how much the houses cost in Venice. And if you are interested, it's right there, 245,000 euros, and you can get one of these beauties maybe one day. And then this is a big major pop out of the map. It's kind of, again, this came from a magazine, so it's ripped down the middle. I used a lot of tape. I wanted to capture where we were as far as the hotel, where's the Rialto Bridge, how far we walked. We didn't really get to travel outside of San Marco. I think we just stayed around this area. We never even crossed the bridge to the other side. And this was a pasta to go. Again, I think it's overhyped actually. This place, it's not that great. I mean, it's very mediocre. Sorry, I'm just being honest. So that's that. And let's see. Next day, so this is what I'm talking about. I was starting to get sick here. As you can see, there's not a lot of pop outs anymore. I just really wanted to get some rest. Again, I got this from a pop out, from a magazine of the Duomo in Florence. And we traveled by train. We ate at a pizzeria. We stayed at Hotel Pendini, again, free breakfast. And it's a lot of near stores, which is Dolce & Gabbana, Michael Kors, and Apple Store. But definitely wanted to get the same concept of the landmarks. This is the train ticket and what it looks like from Trenitalia. And then we went to go see the Gallery of David and the Tower of Pisa. And I bought this from there just to hold some of my receipts. And my last pop out for this is the map, which I got from a magazine again. Oh, I actually connected it together. And then just random pieces of paper. This was our ticket on the way back, and then all of this stuff is really from another work trip that I went for New Orleans. So as you can see, I didn't really get to capture Rome here because of how sick I was, but I totally missed out on my parents going to Naples. But other than that, that pretty much concludes this update on what my Midori Traveler's Notebook is, and I hope you guys enjoyed what's inside. Please feel free to subscribe or visit my blog at www.dlmjourney.com. I have a bunch of articles there. I did end up doing an article on Paris, just as a quick itinerary. So if you guys are interested, feel free to visit. Till next time, thanks guys. Bye.